And we're here with the first round. We have Hamza Ebrahim against Helman van Rensberg. Hamza on Dredge, Helman on Bant Spirits. Believe they've resolved their mulligans already. Helman down to 6 at the moment.
Do you know who's going first?
I believe Helman's going first. He won the title. Starts with a flooded stand. This is a match where, well, Dredge is very good against most of the Coco decks. And Helman's deck doesn't really have much in terms of interaction. I think only 4 path to exile.
But the good thing is though, all his stuff is in the air, which does make a bit of a difference. Because I mean that Amalgam's not going to block there.
That's true.
Because the only real blocker you will have in this matchup is the Nakamura.
Yeah, so Helman, if he gets an aggressive start, can be very, very powerful in terms of things, because the Lord gives all his spirits hexproof. It's a very important factor in this match. Hamza, one of his most important cards are probably going to be Conflagrates, yes.
Isn't most of the spirits as well like 1 toughness?
Yeah, if Hamza gets an early Conflagrate and his opponent doesn't play a Digraph Captain, it's going to be really hard for his opponent to come back from that.
Ah, there's the Neonate as well.
Some would say he always has it.
He always has it. The Neonate is like the nut draw for Dredge, isn't it?
Basically, turn 1 Neonate, discarding something.
Which is the best treasure? The Golgari Thug?
The Golgari Thug is the second best treasure at this point. After they banned Golgari Grave Troll, the best treasure is now most certainly the Stinkweed Imp.
Okay.
Dredging 5 very, very high numbers. Off a Cathartic Reunion allows you to dredge 15 cards, which is a high chance of seeing at least Prized Amalgam and Bloodgast.
Let's see.
And
passing?
I believe going down to 16 here.
I think 17, I think he's the farthest. Yeah, 16.
And Hamza dredging an Amalgam straight away by discarding the Golgari Thug to the Insolent Neonate.
What else did he get? Another Amalgam and a Bloodgast. Oof.
Hamza just needs to play a land, and that's going
to be a quick game.
Dredge, one of the more predominant decks this side in Cape Town, very powerful.
I mean, game 1, man, like it's very difficult to have the answers.
Unless you have mainboard Scavenging Ooze, which actually some of the Coco decks are playing mainboard.
I mean, Hamza's even going for a Cathartic here.
Discarding the 2 Dredges he just got back.
I think he just has it all here now. Like,
so that goes down first. There's double Nakamura. Life from the Loam.
Actually, just the nuts. That's the
and
nuts.
There's another Prized Amalgam and another Golgari.
Yeah, you can't beat this, man.
And still has the Stinkweed Imp in the yard. This is probably one of the better starts you can have with Dredge. And Hamza using his playmat as a graveyard.
It's always the best.
Clearly lands to the front because, you know, likes trolling us.
That little chains. He's definitely going to die today, doing some blocking. How much power does he have on board at the moment?
At the moment he's sitting on 10 power, which is a 2-turn clock.
Seems good. Is there any Conflagrates in the graveyard?
I do believe
one of those. There's a
isn't one actually. There's one double Faith Suiting.
He's attacking.
He's not blocking this turn, so may as well get in for some damage.
I mean, what's the worst thing that he can flash in here?
There's
what
not
actually
much.
Blocks well here?
In terms of actual blockers, maybe flashing in the Lord, but that's not good enough. It's not blocking this turn.
Oh, maybe it's that flash, the one that taps down a creature.
Oh, sure.
That could be decent.
And I believe Hamza milling his third
another
Bloodgast, or second Bloodgast. Attacking Helman down.
He has to have a response at this point, man. I don't think you can run to 6-0.
I don't think he cares about going down to 6 all that much. Going down to under 10 gives the Blood God taste in
Yeah.
any case, so not ideal.
I'm just worried about the conflag rate, man. I'm just threw his hand away.
At this point, I don't even think Hamza needs conflict. It's just so many creatures on board. And here we are going to see the conflict and discards
Goodbye at 4-5.
7,
Just insurance policy on the spirit.
1 and 6.
And phone scoops it up.
Yep, that is 20 damage in 3 turns.
Seems like a fair deck.
By fair, if you mean unfair, you are probably correct here.
Look, man, I think it's very difficult to beat that kind of start, man. Does he have any answers in his sideboard to Dredge?
We'll have a look at this sideboard in a moment. Surprisingly not. As far as I can see.
Rest in peace.
I don't even see a rest in peace unless the sideboard isn't quite correct. There doesn't appear to be rest in peace.
Okay. Look, he's gonna play again. Maybe he gets the Nova Hierarch and he just goes off.
Yes, the Noble Hierarch start is going to be relatively important.
I think so.
He has to be able to play, get Noble Hierarch hopefully into a Lord, and then play 2 spirits on turn 3. That will probably be fast enough clock to actually put pressure on Hamza.
What about the guys? Just like turn 2 guys into a Lord.
Turn 2 Geist.
I mean, what else would apply more pressure than the guys in this deck?
The problem with Geist is he's just going to get blocked by the majority of Hamza's things.
But it's only the amalgam that can actually kill it though.
2 with the Lord on the field, yeah. And it has built-in X-Proof. Well, unfortunately, the deck lists are not working. We will fix that in a moment.
So what is Azurius Herald? What does that do?
I actually have no idea at this point. We would bring it up, but unfortunately,
Is there a forest and island in the sideboard?
that's what it says on the deck list. I'm just double checking on it. Yes, so unable to actually see the deck lists on our screen. But Helman does seem to have 3 lands in his sideboard.
So Azurius Herald is a 3-mana creature. When it ETPs, you gain 4 life.
Probably it's going to be very good against burn type decks, which we actually haven't seen too much recently. Burn was very predominant.
That's only a 2-1 though. I don't think it's the best for this matchup.
Yeah, at this point, Hamza's going to be very favored in this type of match. Helman has to really try and
He needs
get
to
an
get a really good
aggressive
hand, yeah.
start.
How many paths does he play?
I don't see any, actually.
No path.
No path, no removal at all, no interaction. A
It's gonna be a
very
very tough matchup
straight
for him.
up, in your face type of deck Helman's playing with.
Dredge is one of the decks you need to have interaction for, man. You can't just let them do their thing. They're always gonna get a bit more aggro than you.
Yes, the fact that you get to work with your library and your graveyard as ways to cast spells, some would say is unfair.
Yeah.
Very, very unfair.
I look pretty unfair. I mean, turn 3, 10 power on board with 2 mana. That seems
It
good.
was turn 2, not even turn 3, so he
Sure.
was attacking for 10 on turn 3 and his opponent
What
declining
does-
to block.
What does Hamza bring in here?
In this matchup, Hamza's deck is pretty strong at this
Yeah.
point.
Ooh,
A card I
Driven to
could
Despair.
see is Driven to Despair, possibly Collective Brutality if he's expecting his opponent to have Cocos and possibly Abrupt Decay. The problem is you don't really want to dilute your deck too much with Dredge, especially since it's very synergy based.
But I mean, the Abrupt you'll bring in just in case the Rest in Peace is there.
The thing is, he already has, yeah, he'll bring in Abrupt Decay just for
Yeah.
Rest in Peace. But so mainboard interaction, he already has Dark Blast, which is really good in this matchup.
Dark Blast is the -1,
Yeah, -1, and Dredge, so he gets to kill a bunch of 1 toughness creatures, which his opponent
which
has
is
tons of.
basically the whole deck.
Cards I can see Hamza cutting are probably the Collective Brutality, even though I said he should bring it in just because he doesn't want to.
I mean, it's still good against Coco though.
It's still good against Coco, but at the same time, he does want Abrupt Decay to hit Rest in Peace,
Yeah,
which his
true.
opponent could be bringing in. Little does Hamza know his opponent does not have Rest in Peace.
Seems Hamza's got down to 5 cards.
Yeah. Keeping the 5 skies
Oh,
to the top.
Neonate on top.
Hamza will be on the draw, and Dredge doesn't actually need too many cards to get
There
in.
we go, noble start.
One of the better starts in Modern at the moment. Hamza Dark Blasting the Noble immediately. Doubles up as not only killing it, but also getting a Dredge card in your yard.
I mean, it was like these days also like to keep few lands in the noble.
And Helman's hand looking pretty flooded. 4 lands total. Now Hamza gets to play his Neonate. Unfortunately for Hamza, his Mal was actually a Mal to 4 because Narcomoeba in opening hand doesn't count as a card.
What's the land that can actually cost the gemstone
Only
card?
the Gemstone Caverns in Hamza's list.
And that might be the card we were
Yes,
talking about.
as earlier said, he's going to gain 4 life.
Gain 4 life. I believe if you don't have a blue, you have to sacrifice it. When I read it now.
Well, it's getting Dark Blasted anyway at this point.
Into the battlefield, sacrifice it unless blue was spent to cast it. Doesn't look like he has any blue sources though.
Yes. So I do believe both players must that. Although the trigger actually doesn't use the stack, it's just gets sacrificed on resolution. I believe Hamza was. It's actually more beneficial for Hamza that he got the Dredger into the yard there, so must play from both players.
Sure, he's happy to see that.
And Hamza attacking for 1 there with his Neomate and sacking.
The black guy's going to the graveyard.
So now cast Life from the Loam, get back a land, get back double Bloodgast.
Strong play.
One of the good things about Dredge is even if you mull, if you have Life from the Loam, you get to keep getting card advantage just by using it over and over again. Hamza declining to bring back the Bloodgast because you can do it at instant speed end of his opponent's turn,
Okay,
rather
sure.
not expose them to any sort of path effects.
I would rather make the opponent use their mana in their turn.
And this should signify to Hamza his opponent as a Coco, since his opponent kept a hand and declined to do anything. Here we do see the 2 Bloodgasts come back.
So which one does Hamza trade you now? The Stinkweed Eve again? Or Life from the Loam?
At this time, I think the Stinkweed Imp just sees more cards in his graveyard, and that's what he's doing at the moment.
It's better just to life when you have a lot of lands, so the conflagrate just gets...
But
a lot
if you
better.
have Conflagrate in your graveyard, it's almost always better to Life from the Loam just so you can Conflagrate for a larger amount. Yeah, Almond's sacking, probably going to fetch a Hallowed Fountain, possibly an island.
I don't... Oh, he's 23 life, I suppose you could spin out too.
Okay, is just island, stays at 22.
I don't think you can afford to take another 2 here. I think this. Okay, here we go.
Collected company. We will.
What are we looking for here? Geist, Lord.
Um, so
The thing is, the Nebel's not going to do anything. You should have done this pre-combat for the tap down.
not even that. Just so he can block. His Lord would pump his creatures.
Let's see.
And he actually has double Lord as possible candidates. That would have been pretty good before blocks. And we are going to see double diagraph. I mean, Drog Skull Captive.
So those are?
Those are both 3 mana 2/2s with hexproof, and they give all other spirits you control +1/+1 in hexproof.
So they're 3/3s now.
Yes, both of them, and neither can be targeted at this point. Oh, okay, this is before blocks. So both of Hamza's creatures die. Hamza more than likely going to flashback of Faithless looting at this point. Plays the land, brings back.
Looks like Hamza's been on the clock now as well.
There was
6 in the air.
Yeah, that's gonna be 6 flying, not something you can traditionally deal with. Hamza just has a judge call. Oh no, okay, he's just fetching mountain. Sincerely hope he isn't attempting to conflagrate here. I don't think he has one in his yard. I think those are just 3 faithless lootings.
I think maybe that's just the faithless looting here. Some Hamza needs to see some action here.
The faithless looting could still be good enough. Interesting that Hamza has decided to sort of bring back his blood gods before seeing.
Okay, there's a jump block at least.
Wow. Yeah, Hamza deciding to bring back his blood ghosts, actually not being against him this time because he didn't get any prize amalgams anyway. He still needs to discard 2 cards. He discards Stinkweed Imp and Stinkweed.
What does he have in his hand? Narcomoeba, Life, and?
Narcomoeba, Life in the Loam, and
Dark
Blast. Unfortunately, this Dark Blast is not going to be doing anything for Hamza, since all of his opponent's creatures will indeed have hexproof.
Looks like Helman has.
Flooding out pretty severely.
Is it a Selfless Spirit?
Is a Selfless Spirit, but 2 lands in hand.
Still a big boy though.
At the moment, a 4/3 Selfless Spirit. Hamza taking 6, going down to 11. Actually, sacked that turn as well, so going down to 10.
Is it down 10?
Yes, this is going to be a lethal swing from his opponent the next turn.
And the Selfless Spirit is hexproof now as well, right?
Yes.
So how does Hamza actually stop any of this now?
So basically, the Stinkweed Imp has Death Touch. Even though it doesn't read keyword Death Touch,
Okay.
it can block one of the lords, which will allow Hamza to target the second lord. So, yeah, Blood God's going to die to the Selfless Spirit Helman, taking 2 down to 20. Hamza also has the Narcomoeba jump block, so he won't die this next turn, in any case. The fact that he can recur Death Touch blockers in the form of Stinkweed Imp is also pretty strong.
I mean, you basically need to get rid of the captains at this point.
Ooh, Hamza deciding to Life from the Loam so he can guarantee hitting lands. More than likely going to fetch multiple fetches so he can get basic Swamp. Actually, I'm not too sure if Hamza has basic Swamp in his deck. Yes, only basic Mountain.
What do you need the basic swamp for?
So, oh well, he left black untapped anyway, so I guess he doesn't need it.
Here comes the Bloodcast, and there is Amalgam in the graveyard.
Yes, he molded off this past hit with the Stinkweed Imp, now he's going to cast it.
It's looking a lot better now, because I mean,
Well,
He's
Helman has a
docile.
spell queller in hand. I thought it was just a land, so he could just spell queller this thing with him.
I mean, he has to at this point, right?
Yeah, he is going down. Hamza is more than likely going to lose this match now. At this point, he's going to
Starkwell
be
as
attacked
well.
for at least 10. Well, he's going to be hit for at least 10 if the stink with him does not resolve.
Only the Nakami were blocking.
And
He has
Hamza
to leave.
already determined his opponent has spell queller, putting his stink with him on the opponent's side. And Almond's draw.
It looks like another land. I mean, he has to just go in here, right?
Well, he wins if he goes in with everything. And yes, Hamza scoops it up there.
So it looks like basically it just comes down to the Coco. I mean, two lords. It looks too strong actually.
Well, at this point, it's actually one of those things where Hamza's mull down was basically him having 4 cards in hand,
Yeah.
and at the same time, Helman's wasn't super good, but if you have a bunch of flyers, you can actually pressure Dredge, same as you can pressure Death
I mean,
Shadow
Coco's
with
just a
flyers.
blowout card, man. Like,
Yeah, Coco is extreme value, 4 mana generally, you think 6 mana's worth of
got two of
cards.
the best cards in your deck. You play yourself a spirit. I mean, a sting in the air. It's very difficult to beat something like that.
It's also unfortunate that all of Helman's creatures had Hexproof at that point, so Hamza couldn't even.
Conflagrate. Does he have nothing for? I mean, you don't expect this kind of deck though, do you?
Yeah, this is one of the decks you don't really see that often.
So does
As
he not bring the Thoughtseize in though?
the Thoughtseize is a very medium card in this type of matchup because your opponent's very creature heavy and a lot of his creatures are redundant.
Mm.
So if you miss the Coco, you actually hitting a creature that
The
can easily
collective
be
feels very
replaced.
good in this matchup though. You kill most of the creatures, and if you take the chance, you might even need the Coco.
At the same time, Hamza doesn't have the luxury of siding out too many cards.
True.
Um,
But he does play. Does he play zero collectors in the main?
he plays 1 Collective Vitality main board alongside 2 Dark Blasts as his forms of interaction. The Stinkweed Imp is actually going to be fairly important for Hamza here
Oh, the thing was
because,
actually all-star last game. Yeah. Like if it had to stick around.
yeah, if his opponent didn't spell Queller it, would have been very good in that position.
And Almond plays no removal, so that thing wasn't gonna be there for a while. How many Stinkweed Imps does he play?
He plays 4 as one should in Dredge. Dredge is 5 cards,
Okay.
so is the most important in
3
terms of
mana,
dredging.
right?
3 mana, 1 2 flying, Death Touch.
Seems like gonna be very relevant in this game.
Flyers in general are just very powerful at the moment.
Looks like Hamza has a cathartic and neonate. Looks like a key. Is he any form of treasure there?
I'm not too sure, we can have a look. His opponent is mulling down to 6 again. Or if Hamza would show us his hand, we could have a look. But I do see, oh, Cathartic Neonate.
That's good enough. Gemstone. Get it, not gonna be.
If he has any sort of treasure in hand, then it becomes amazing.
I'm sure if he's keeping it, he must have something. Would you keep it like that if you never did? Just for the sake that
There is a chance you could actually draw into a treasure because you see 3 draws. Well, okay, 2 draws. Before you need to cast Cathartic Reunion. He has double stink with him. That hand becomes insane at this point.
He's just the nuts.
It may well be the best start you could have with this deck.
Because with Cathartic and those two,
It depends what he hits off Dredge, but
okay.
this is more than
But I mean,
likely
he's
going
gonna see a
to
lot of cards basically.
this is more than likely going to see 20 cards in his graveyard by turn 2. at
Seems
least.
fair.
And here we are seeing,
There's the Muslim wonder though.
and the Wanderer on turn
Ooh,
1.
that's gonna hurt like a Thorchic.
So Hamza is just going to Dredge. The thing is, he can easily just not play the Cathartic Dredge in this turn.
You can't though, right? Because you lose the 2 cards for no value.
Yeah.
I mean, it's literally the best card. I'm not gonna play turn 1.
Ironically, had he played any other one drop, it would have been inferior to it.
Yeah, Hamza would have just gone off. Like, yeah,
That
Hamza-
was the blowout we
that
were
was
waiting
actually a
for.
blowout. Like,
Not often we turn 1, Mausoleum Wanderer.
stops your entire deck from just going off. Okay, Hamza still off to a good start though.
Yeah, the start is still looking very, very strong. Hamza
I mean,
attacking here.
you just tank the Muslim Wanderer now.
He's actually just tanking.
I would do the same thing
the
though.
same, yep.
I mean, you're on the play, like,
I'm not too sure. I think I saw a. So,
you have to sack here though.
yeah, Alman is definitely going to sack to counter this Cathartic unit.
I mean,
But
a 1-1
I'm not sure if I saw a Dark Blast in Hamza's hand. I believe Hamza's just trying to put more dredges into his yard here.
I mean, how much does it hurt Hamza to actually...
Oh,
he
his
doesn't
opponent
counter.
did not counter. This is going to hurt.
I mean, he must have some lords or... He must be keeping this for some protection or something.
And Hamza just hit triple prize the mountain.
And conflagrate, faithless looting.
And then a Nakamura.
Okay. That's the nuts. How many amalgams?
3 amalgam,
Like, it's 3 amalgams.
I think. I could, no, it's just 1. It's just double configurate. Always, yes, it was double configurate.
So why would he keep the Muslim one for conflagrate most probably?
Basically, okay, Hamza actually triple configurate. That's my bad. Triple configurate here when his opponent has life from the loam in the yard and enough lands to keep recurring it.
Alman looks like he has a Cavani, Noble, and Sulfur Spirit. I mean, you can't play the Spirit into...
I suppose he can play the spirit into the configurate.
I mean, you're saving a
is
1-1
though-
and a 2-1 at this point though, like...
The thing is, Hamza's more than likely not going to play configurate this turn. He's probably going to life from the loam. If I believe he did take life from the loam back the last turn, just to sort of get more cards in hand.
Maybe thinking about it. Does he have life on the loam in his hand?
Yes, he dredged it back the last turn with a Cathartic unit. Hamza will be going in for 6 here. No. Deciding against it.
6
Maybe he
faxes.
wants to Dark Blast something first. Yeah, going in for 6.
I mean, the Nakamura is like irrelevant at this point, right? He wants him to block.
Hamza definitely wants his opponent to get rid of that Mausoleum Wanderer. Although, quite frankly, in my opinion, it should be in the graveyard already.
Yeah, the Cathartic should never have resolved.
So what happens when you blow out yourself?
Look man, it happens from time to time. Sometimes it's just multiple blowouts. Nothing you can do about it.
And Alman deciding whether or not he wants to let this life from the loam resolve.
This conflagrate's gonna be large. How many cards does Hamza have in hand now?
Too many, to be frank.
Yes, 7. Plays a...
Plays a land, gets back a Blood Ghost. Every time I've seen Hamza play this deck, I feel like he's always at it.
They always have it, man. That's the thing. They always have it. What is Dark Blast? Is it all opponent's creatures -1?
No, it's just target creature, but the thing is he gets to dredge it back, so it can decur itself
Okay,
forever,
sure.
effectively.
So
And
he just has the perfect removal spell that returns.
to top things off, his opponent's deck is basically a bunch of 1-drops.
Seems good.
And here we are going to see the Darkstalk Captain. It's definitely Return to late here.
I mean, as a start for coming back here though, it's not bad because I mean the Strasel can block one of the blood guards. The Sulfur Spirit can take the Narcom even now. That's not, and the Sulfur Spirit is X-proof, which is
The thing is, the Sulphurous Spirit will trade with everything other than the Narcomoeba, and the same with the Darksteel Captain. Attacks for 2, more than likely going to jump block here.
I think it's 3 because of the.
Oh, sorry, 3 because of the buff from the Lord.
I think I would have just jump blocked this point, man. Because
Jump blocking isn't winning you the game either.
I know, but the problem is now if Hamza gets more blood guards and conflagrates, it's.
Oh, this is.
Let's see.
He's bringing back life from the loam. He has the land to cost both life and another conflict or
So
a
how much
conflict
damage are we
gate.
talking about here?
So that's going to be probably around 8 damage.
Just on the conflagrate?
Just on the conflict gate. His opponent is already at 12. Will at least take 5, putting him down to 7, so that conflict gate will more than likely be lethal. Takes 7, goes down to 5.
This should be game.
Now we are going to see life from the loam.
The mats here.
I think Hamza is going through this more as a formality than anything else at this point.
You always make it as large as possible, the conflagrate.
It's just for style points at this point.
I do the same thing at this point. I mean, it's going to be massive. Lose like 8 cards almost.
I think it's exactly 8. Could be 7.
Plus he has 2 speed in the graveyard. I don't know. I think it swings a bit too far when the cathartic result.
And yeah, I think that's where the game ended. Helman had the blowout at the ready, deciding not to use it.
I mean, your 1 mana creature is there for that reason. But I mean, maybe he had a larger plan. Maybe it was Mausoleum wanting to Sulfur Spirit into Drossel to get the beast down himself. But it's 3 conflagrates, I don't think you're ever gonna.
Yeah, the problem with this type of deck, the Spirit deck at least, you don't have as much interaction as you would like to have. So,
I mean, if you had some Path to Exiles, it'd be a different game.
rest in peace as well, not having access to those cards, possibly budget constraints, not too sure. Could just be logistics of getting the cards themselves.
Even more Nibbles, just some more tempo plays. Because at the moment he's just playing creatures on curve. And not a lot of flash, like, interaction and stuff. So, I mean, game 1, he got the curve. And the curve was pretty good.
Yeah, and the thing is, Hamza had very explosive games 1 and 3. It was pretty ridiculous.
I mean, game 1, that was the perfect start.
And yep, we will be back with the next round.